This Good Morning Northwest morning sprint is brought to you by Bill's Heating and Air Conditioning.
6:53 on the dot. Time to get you ready for your Thursday here in the morning sprint. Sydney Charles is live with details of explosives found in a bag at a Pennsylvania airport. But we want to get right to Mark Peterson as another round of snow is moving through our area.
And thank goodness it's light amounts of snow in the First Alert Weather. And the First Alert Weather app would tell you about, again, the winter weather advisory in effect, Idaho and north of Spokane. But we see this light snow coming in. It's not adding to much. Got about a half an inch on the ground downtown right now. Our high today is going to be 40, 38 into Coeur d'Alene and Pullman. You're going to be at 39 degrees. However, breezy from Pullman to Tri-Cities all the way up through Spokane. Winds in excess of 20 miles an hour. So we're going to see the potential for light snow. Our high today is 40. We'll be in the mid to upper 30s throughout much of the afternoon.
Well, new on Good Morning Northwest. 2 people died in a head-on crash yesterday evening in North Idaho between Rathdrum and Hauser. It happened just before 6 o'clock on State Highway 53. According to Idaho State Police, a Toyota Tacoma driven by a 26-year-old man from Sandpoint was heading west on the highway when it crossed the center line and hit a Chevy Silverado driven by a 58-year-old woman from Priest River. That woman died at the scene, and the man later died at the hospital. We're also learning new information about a teen killed in Reardon last week. According to a probable cause affidavit, a group of teens were playing video games at a house near Reardon High School last Thursday afternoon. One of those teens had a gun that was being passed around. Court documents say the boys heard a pop and then heard 15-year-old Shadrach Hall Turner say, "Dude, you shot me," followed by a 16-year-old saying, "I didn't mean to," and apologizing. That teen was arrested for manslaughter and unlawful possession of a gun.
And a Pennsylvania man who allegedly tried to bring explosives onto a plane is scheduled to appear in court today. 40-year-old Mark Muffley was caught on surveillance lugging 2 suitcases, and authorities say those suitcases contained dangerous explosive material. A flight from Lehigh Valley International Airport was headed to Orlando when it was disrupted on Monday after bomb-type materials were uncovered in a suitcase as it went through TSA. Court documents say investigators found a circular compound wrapped in a wax-like paper and clear plastic wrap hidden in the lining of the luggage. Muffley is now charged with possession of an explosive in an airport and possessing or attempting to place an explosive or incendiary device on an aircraft.
Alex Murdaugh's defense attorneys will deliver their closing arguments in his murder trial today as they seek to raise reasonable doubt about whether he killed his wife and son in 2021. The prosecution delivered their closing arguments yesterday, saying Murdaugh was the only person who had the motive, means, and opportunity to kill them, and that his lies afterward betrayed him. The number of people living at Camp Hope in East Spokane has now dropped below 100. The Department of Transportation says 30 people moved out in just the past couple of weeks. At its peak over the summer, more than 600 people lived at the homeless camp. People who move out of Camp Hope are not allowed back in. Spokane Valley is joining the City of Spokane and Spokane County to discuss a regional plan to address homelessness. In 2 weeks, a 90-day due diligence period will kick off. That's when they'll all work on a plan and also create a board to address homelessness on a regional level. Pharmaceutical company Eli Lilly is capping out-of-pocket costs of its insulin at $36. As of May 1st, Lilly is also reducing the list price of its non-branded insulin to $25 a vial. Right now, it's listed at $82 a vial. The American Diabetes Association says the average price of insulin nearly tripled between 2002 and 2013. Demand has increased as diabetes becomes the fastest growing chronic disease in the world. And as grocery prices continue to climb, more than 42 million Americans who receive help from the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, are about to get a lot less money to buy food. 3 years of extra funds for food as part of the Pandemic Hunger Relief Program is ending this month, setting SNAP recipients back $90 a month on average. Over the next several weeks, traffic stops will happen much more frequently in Idaho. In preparation for St. Patrick's Day weekend, officers are cracking down on aggressive driving before the focus becomes DUIs. Thanks to a grant from the Idaho Transportation Department, local law enforcement agencies will be out keeping the roads in our communities even safer than usual. Coeur d'Alene Public Schools says significant changes could be coming if 2 levies are not passed. One would go to safety and maintenance projects, raising $5 million a year over 5 years. The other is a forever $25 million supplemental levy. If both pass, it would cost taxpayers with a $500,000 home about $138 a year. Coeur d'Alene Public Schools says it's at risk of losing more than 250 employees if voters don't pass the levies. All right, a final check of weather with Mark is next.